Poole.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
my
to
God.
beat the shot clock.
That is
Jordan
crazy.
Poole, wow.
Man, look right here. I mean, this is range. That's from the OKC Thunder logo.
Jordan Poole is an enigma. Last year, as a 25-year-old, Poole finished tied in 4th in the entire league in three-pointers made per game, and he hit them at nearly 38% accuracy. He averaged over 20 points per game with an effective field goal percentage above league average. He even comes with championship experience. Yet, it seems like no one really wanted to trade for him. No disrespect to CJ McCollum, but the Wizards traded away their leading scorer who hasn't even reached the prime of his career yet for a 34-year-old on the decline of his career. Is Jordan Poole truly flawed? Or did New Orleans quietly pick up a potential all-star that fits their timeline for a bargain bin price? Poole has a reputation as a one-dimensional scoring guard, the type of player you can't win with in this day and age. However, this past season, Jordan Poole was much better than a lot of fans realized, and if he can build on his success, the Pels could find themselves in the playoff hunt. To understand why Poole has a bit of negative reputation around the league, we have to take a quick glance at his career thus far. He wasn't highly touted as a draft pick. Poole went 28th overall in the 2019 draft to Golden State, where he quietly developed in a backup role for 2 seasons before really breaking out on the scene during the Warriors championship year in 2022.
They knock it away from Bryn Forbes. Poole's gonna walk into a three. Oh, the kid is ridiculous!
Poole was just 22 years old when he made a major impact for the Dubs during their playoff run with an electrifying style that was almost reminiscent of his mentor Steph Curry. Tons of dribble moves and deep three-pointers that he actually dropped. A playing style that looks great when the ball's going in, but leaves a lot of space for criticism when it's not.
Golden State has a lot of time. Poole with the ball. Launches. Oh! Money!
After winning the championship, Poole secured a big contract extension with the expectation that he would be groomed into a critical future piece in Golden State. That was before Draymond Green cracked him in the face with a viral Superman punch in practice, which Poole has had to answer questions about since. It was a no-win situation for a kid that was at a critical stage in his development. Chemistry was obviously torn apart from that moment forward, and it became clear that only one choice for Golden State was to find Poole a new home. He got traded to the Washington Wizards, about as stark a contrast as you could find in the league from a championship organization like the Warriors, a team that has been in a seemingly revolving rebuild with no stability and no direction. At least, that was what it looked like when Poole arrived a couple years ago. His production and more importantly his efficiency stats continued to decline rapidly in his first season in Washington. His playing style seemed chaotic and unjustifiable. He was exactly what teams don't need, an inefficient one-dimensional volume scorer. Poole shot under 32% from the field and just 32.6% on all three-pointers. The ugliest part was his high attempt rate on pull-up threes, which he shot at just 30.4%.
Poole deep three. Air ball. Jordan is now 2 for 9 and 0 for 5 from outside the line.
There were conversations around the league pegging Poole as a guy that you just can't win with. A Steph Curry wannabe that isn't talented enough to play that style of ball. Truth is, there were a lot of things stacked up against Jordan Poole to the point where the pendulum might be tipped from overrated to underrated over the span of a couple years. Say what you want about his playing style, the 6'4" guard clearly has talent. The guy can get buckets.
Closeout moment right here for Washington. Poole, crossover, step back three. Oh yeah!
For Poole, it's all about role, fit, and continuing to make improvements since he's still a young NBA player that hasn't yet reached his prime. While he doesn't get the credit, last year Jordan Poole made massive improvements in many areas of the game that some fans have overlooked.
DeLon Wright, former Wizard in the game as well, gets his shot blocked by Poole.
Jordan Poole is not known as a particularly strong defender, but last season he clearly put in the effort to improve on that side of the ball. What this graphic here shows was Jordan Poole's opponent's field goal percentage from various spots on the floor during his first season in Washington versus last season. Poole actually held his opponents to below average three-point accuracy above the break in each season, and was slightly better in 2024-25. He also made improvements holding his opponents to lower field goal percentages in the mid-range and in the paint, outside the restricted zone.
Yeah, Draymond now, good steal by JP. He read that perfectly and goes to the rim for the slam.
He also posted 1.3 steals per game, a career high in the category, and top 30 in the league. These improvements resulted in Poole's best defensive box plus-minus since his championship year with the Warriors. For a guy that has a reputation for being soft and one-dimensional, it's encouraging to see his commitment to improving. On offense, he really cleaned up his game as well. His 20.5 points per game were a career high, but what was more impressive was his efficiency, which had a lot to do with his shot selection.
That was high on Bruno Fernando. Oh, what a circus shot by Jordan Poole!
Poole has always been an underrated finisher at the rim. Last year, he had a field goal percentage of 70% inside 3 feet, which is very consistent for a player at his position. Above that, he took the highest percentage of shots at the rim of his entire career. This was partially due to his urgency to push the pace.
Draymond,
There he is.
steal, right on cue. JP, 2 on the rim.
Last year, Poole finished 12th in the NBA with 5.7 points per game in transition. Poole had an effective field goal percentage of nearly 65% on his transition buckets.
Proximity of where the foul is called. They're not going to call something that's half court. Jordan Poole, speaking of half court.
In the half court, Poole was much better as well. As a pick-and-roll ball handler, he finished 25th in the league, scoring, but more importantly, he finished in the 77th percentile in terms of scoring efficiency. With Poole poising as an imposing scoring threat, he could open up space for Zion as a dominant role man. Poole practically eliminated his mid-range game last year and replaced those looks with more analytically sound looks at the rim and from 3.
Former teammate Butler got him moving and grooving too. JP from Chesterfield.
Last year with the Wiz, Poole took over 9 3-pointers per game, by far the most of any season of his career, and also managed to shoot them with a career-high accuracy. He wasn't taking easier looks either. Poole continued to take most of his threes off the dribble, often really tough shots that only the most talented players in the world even attempt.
Poole, deep 3. Oh, to close the show, Jordan Poole.
Offensively, he was an efficient scorer last year, considering he had to carry the load and take a lot of really tough shots for a bad Wizards team. And there's plenty of reason to believe that Jordan Poole can continue to get better. Remember, he's still just 26 years old, entering the 2025-26 season. This chart shows the scoring progression of some of the best scoring guards of the past decade at each age of their career. Westbrook, Lillard, Steph, Harden, Kyrie, and Bradley Beal, and we look at their trajectory next to Poole. I'm not saying that Poole is going to all of a sudden develop into the player of this caliber. Very few players ever do. But what is clear is that his best scoring seasons are likely yet to come. The Pels traded away their best first-round pick to Atlanta in the upcoming draft, so they are highly incentivized to put together a competitive year. Jordan Poole, who fits into the age bracket of the rest of the New Orleans core, could surprise some people. We want to know what you guys think. Pels fans, how are you guys feeling about the Jordan Poole trade? Could he break out this year? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Insight.